What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stories Beyond the Field podcast. I'm your co-host, Hayden.
And I'm Gabe. What's good?
And if you're able to view the first episode, you know that he was actually interviewing me. So today we're going to switch the tables, and I'm going to help you get to know a little bit more about your co-host, Gabe.
Yes, sir.
So for a few of you that may not know, both of us attended Hawaii Preparatory Academy here on the Big Island. Gabe is currently a senior at Pacific University in Forest Grove, Oregon.
Yes,
So
sir.
welcome. Obviously, we're
Thanks, buddy.
co-hosts and we'll be doing our thing. But let me ask you the first question here.
All right.
What was the move from the Big Island, a small community, everybody kind of knows everybody vibe, then going to Oregon and having that disassociation with your family and kind of having to find your own path? How was that?
Yeah, I mean, that was like 5 years ago now. So I guess looking back on it, it was a little tough at first. I mean, when I came up here, I only really knew Sarah and Emily. So kind of having to start over in a new town, in a new community where I only knew two people. At first, it was a little bit tough because I never even heard of Forest Grove, Oregon. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard that's where the school was, I was like, "Where the hell is Forest Grove, Oregon? What is a Forest Grove, Oregon?" No, like, and having to do certain things on my own, like, having to worry about like groceries and all that without mom and dad's help, I was like, "Oh hell!" Like I'm actually an adult now. But I think it definitely helped me grow, um, to be a better version of me. So yeah.
And again, going to college, you were there to play football. That was your
hmm
idea. That was your dream, I'm sure, for a lot of your childhood.
hmm
Kind of tell me the point when you went up there and you realized like you don't have anybody in your corner. That's not your coach. This is a whole new coaching staff. Nobody's there that you've known before. Like how was that feeling?
It sucked, to be honest. Like, at least at HPA, like you said, I had dad to kinda, help pick me up when things were tough or nobody was believing in me, and that was just not the case here. He was at home and he wasn't on the staff, so I kinda just had to pick myself up a lot of the times or try to rely on my teammates to keep me positive, and I just didn't really feel like there was much of a bond between me and the team, and the coaches definitely seemed like they thought I didn't believe or I didn't belong on the team. That's just kinda how it felt. So, it was tough for sure, and, to let football go was even more tough, even though I'd only played it since high school, but I think I made the right decision.
And how would you cope being there by yourself? You didn't have anybody really that you could go to like physically there. Was a lot of it through the phone, kind of messaging mom and dad? Or was it more kind of finding your own identity and kind of figuring out what you can do to help yourself?
I mean, it was a little bit of a mixture of both. Definitely, I would call mom and dad when I was just like, man, I don't want to play football anymore. Like, I hate this team. I don't feel connected to these guys. The coaches they've already given up on me, even though I'm still learning this position. By closer to the end of football season, I had made friends like Diego, my buddy Diego Tabata, and I made friends with Sarah's friends, and I met a lot of good people by the end of my time at Pacific Football, so I was able to kind of rely on them a little bit and just hang out with them and distract myself from all the negative thoughts that I was having about like, man, I suck at football. Like I couldn't even last 1 year. Like, what is wrong with me? So to just like have that group of people there, and a lot of them being from Hawaii helped a lot because I felt like I was a little bit more at home and a little bit less on the mainland. So I think that was a really important part of it too.
That's amazing. I'm really happy you could find the connection of people there that helped you feel like home is near. That's amazing. I want to bring up something that you said previously. You spoke about how you only lasted 1 year of football. Growing up, football was always around. Dad was a football coach. We grew up a lot with the NFL. We grew up a lot with the players he coached, how they kind of raised us around that identity. How was stepping away from football? Was it really hard? Was it challenging? How did it go for you?
Yeah, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I remember sending a text message to the head coach over here, just, thanking him for the opportunity to play football at the next level, but I just ultimately decided to step away from the game, and I remember the first few days being back here without worrying about practice or lifts or getting ready for a game, I was kinda lost. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "I'm not a football player anymore," and, like, that's half the reason why I came here. Like, what do I do? Like, it felt really weird. It felt like something was missing, and for the first maybe like month or 2, I was really just trying to find something not something to do, but like something to fill that void, you know? So I started going to the gym more. Like Diego and I would just go to the gym, or I would go to the gym with my boy Dallas Repolo and just, work out. And that did it for a while, but it still felt like something was missing. So I picked up drawing again, and then I eventually started to get to know the Japanese exchange students, and that was really cool just to have that intercultural interaction. And I think by now that void's been filled by like just me picking up all my old hobbies now that football's done, I guess. But yeah, I just had to find something to fill that void, you know?
By filling that void, did you actually go into any other sports?
I wouldn't really say I went into any other sports. I kind of just like we have like an intramural league over here, which is kind of just like playing against your schoolmates. I don't really
Yeah,
know your
so
peers. So I
okay.
would just like I picked up flag football. I would play flag football almost every semester except for the year that I went to Japan and also this year. And then this past fall semester I picked up ultimate frisbee, which was a lot of fun. I met a lot of new people, and that was a really great experience. Unfortunately, we came in third place, but it was honestly more about the experience at that point. But I really thought we could have won that tournament, so it's all good.
And that's huge. Finding a team to grow around also as well as just participating in everything. I'm sure it made you feel good to kind of be involved in everything, still get that chance to show off kind of why you were brought up to college and why they wanted you to play. Well, I'm sure that felt good. And another question I had is, when your people weren't there, when you had to really rely on yourself, what was the best thing you could do to get yourself out of like a deep hole?
That's a good question. Yeah. So when people weren't there, because Sarah left and then well, I still had everybody, but like, it was kind of weird to hang out with them without her because she was kind of the person that I met them all through. Honestly, I kind of just when they weren't there or like they were busy and couldn't help me get over whatever I was going through, I would just turn to like things that like distract me from my thoughts, like drawing or just like turning on a couple episodes of anime and allowing me to like escape into a different world and just appreciate the art and these cool looking characters and try to understand their stories, can relate to them at all or whatever. It was just a good distraction from just like everything. Yeah,
I think it's truthfully important to have those things in your life that motivate you and also encourage you to continue to move forward. Because
absolutely. Yeah.
without those, if you're just going into a place where you're just leading yourself down a deeper, darker hole, it's going to be impossible to get yourself out without
Hmm.
those kind of keynotes of wow, this is really cool. I want to continue to learn about this. There's stuff that brings wonder and curiosity. So I
Yeah.
think it's amazing that you're able to pick up some things and find those. I guess for my next question, we talk a lot about the mental side of sports, but
Hmm.
physically, how is the change from high school sports to college? I'm sure it's a lot more demanding. It's a lot more willing and asking you to take advantage of your body, get things that you've never done before, and try your best to get used to it over time. So, how really was that development from high school to college? Like, what did they put you through? How hard did they have to push you?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. I mean, like the transition from high school football to college football, it's a different breed. Like people are faster up here, they're stronger, they have a much better understanding of the game and like switching to a new position, one that's completely different from center to tight end, was also tough. But I mean, tight end is a position that I always wanted to play, so I definitely tried my best to pick it up quickly. But I probably could have used another year or two to develop myself a little bit better. But yeah, it's just like late night practices, and then having to go do homework afterwards was a little rough because you're tired, but you got to push through it and keep up with your schoolwork. Yeah, they were just always message about like, "Hey boys, we got a meeting from this time to this time, and then we got practice," or like, "Make sure to get in your morning lifts so you're keeping in good shape and you're ready to go for practices and game day. You're getting stronger, you're getting faster." But yeah, I feel like it's just like high school football, but like multiply that by 10, and that's basically like college, you know. You got more responsibilities, you got more things to do, you gotta go to meetings, you gotta watch film, like thoroughly watch film and like show your coaches that they can trust you on the field on Saturdays, Fridays, whenever you got game day. So yeah.
Was there a way you could prove that you were more than what they just saw on tape? Like when you got there, did you really show yourself that you're stronger than they thought. You're faster. You were doing things there that many people weren't doing. Was there a way that you stood out to them?
Ooh, that's a good question too. I mean, coming from Hawaii Prep, I think they saw certain things that they liked about me. Like obviously playing center, I was probably one of the smaller centers on the Big Island, but I think they saw that I had some decent power when I blocked, and that kind of transitioned up here too. But with most of these guys being like 3 times bigger than me, I had to hit a little bit harder. I'm not used to hitting people harder than I did it at home. That was certainly an experience. I mean, going from like being on equal level of strength to people playing in high school to getting my ass kicked again, like I did freshman year of high school. It was a transition. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, there's some pretty big broadas up here. Like I gotta actually, get focus on my craft a little bit more and use my hips and really like explode and hit, because if not, then I'm gonna get run over, and I don't want to get run over because then who I'm blocking for is gonna get destroyed, and that's how you ride the bench for your whole college career. So that's not what I'm trying to do. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I might have given up on myself a little too early, and I think I just needed to get back into the swing of being a student athlete again. I lost that senior season due to COVID-19, and probably a part of me probably forgot a little bit like about what it was like to be a student athlete. Like you have to balance school and social life and football and your meetings and practices and games, and like I think taking a year away from that due to COVID kind of also is why I was just like, I can't do this. Like it's too much. I forgot what it was like. Like I kind of just want to be a what we call a NARP up here, a non-athletic regular person. But yeah, I could have taken another year up here, and maybe I would have like developed better to where they're like, okay, so this is clearly what his skill set is, and now we know that, and now we can implement him into our game a little bit more.
I mean, you talk about COVID-19 and how that impacted your senior year of high school. But if you look back, junior year, you guys were like one of the best teams on the island. You guys competed with everybody and you guys gave a fight and you guys managed to go all the way to the BIF championship where you fell short just a little bit. Going into your senior season without COVID, you guys had a lot to prove, but with it, you guys had to shut down that whole season. So how did it feel kind of that transition to being like, okay, next year's going to be our year. Next year we got everything on the table. We got to stack our cards, play the hardest we can to get to the position that we were, and then transition to that next year. And it's now everything shut down. There's no competition. We're just battling against ourselves. How is that for you? Obviously, as somebody that's going to be a senior leader, somebody that you want to prove to everybody that this is our year and we can do this. And then it's just, you don't have any of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was heartbreaking to be honest. Like, coming off a BIF championship loss, I think the whole team was kind of just like, okay, well, that was not the ending to the season that we wanted. We had a really successful season. We, for the most part, kept up with Kamehameha, which we had not been doing in previous years. So, like, there was already a really good improvement. We were getting better. And, just I felt like if we had that senior season, I felt like it would have been the year where we just shut everybody up and we would have brought home a BIF championship, because I mean, I'm pretty sure the year after I graduated, HP actually won the BIF championship. Like, if you have me and my classmates on that same team, I think we go back to back. We win it our year, and then we win it in the class of 22's year as well. So I truly felt like we would have been back for sure in the BIF championship game. I think we definitely could have won the BIF championship game. I mean, we only fell 2 touchdowns and a field goal short of beating Kamehameha, who's always been super dominant in our conference. So I was really proud of our guys, and to not have that season was devastating for me. I mean, if I had known that my junior season was my last high school season, I would have definitely put in way more work than I did, and made sure that I was the best version of me that I could have put out in the field for my teammates to, just be a little bit better, to have maybe found a way to help change the outcome of that BIF championship game, because we were right there, especially in the first half. We were only down 3-0, and then we just kind of let it get away from us in the second half. But yeah, I mean, especially to like not have I have another season to try to put some more highlights on tape, Pacific coaches and recruiters were only watching stuff from my junior season, which wasn't a bad season by any means, but I definitely think another season would have helped me get some more offers, maybe from other D3 schools, and just not having that. It was tough for sure.
And since you transitioned over to tight end, who are you mainly watching to try and build inspiration off of? New position, everything is new. You got to learn how to use your hands in different ways, learn how to use your feet in different ways, and overall, get into your groove. Who really inspired you? Whether in the NFL or in college, who did you watch and you really like, wow, I love this guy's talent. I want to implement his game into what I do. Who was that person?
Yeah, I mean, both of these guys played on teams that I absolutely hate because I'm a Packers fan. So, I kind of got a little bit of a grudge against the 49ers, Vikings, and Eagles. Guys like George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson, and Dallas Goddard were always a couple of tight ends that I watched that year that I played tight end because I always felt like George Kittle was the best blocking tight end in the league. I mean, he's got great power and his footwork is great. He always if he's not getting pancakes, he's still preventing the defender he's blocking from, making the play. And he's also a really good route runner. He always finds a way to get open and create an easy target for Brock Purdy or whoever's playing quarterback. And Hawkinson and Goddard, they're always been really solid receiving tight ends too. I never really watched their blocking game that much just because I mainly focus on Kittle's blocking techniques more. But like just watching how they ran their routes and then they made themselves a big body for their quarterback because that's what the tight end is. It's like a check down, but like an athletic check down. Like the running backs, they're usually blocking on pass plays for the most part, except when they're on their own check down route. But like the tight end is a big body that a quarterback has to rely on in the red zone and stuff. And just seeing how they did that is kind of like what I wanted to implement into my game too, if I was to step on the field.
Now you watched a lot of NFL talent. Now going to college knowing that you were playing football, was there ever a moment that you had the thought that like, okay, if I do good, I can make it there? And was there ever a moment where you're like, okay, if I can build my tape here, I can build up, build up, build up, build up, play at the next level, see what happens, and then try to make it to the NFL? Was that ever a process in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's every football player, no matter when you start, you always want to make it to the NFL. That's like every athlete's dream is to make it to the professional level. So when I did officially get the offer to play Pacific University football, it just being a college program, that did cross my mind at first. I was like, okay, cool. Like this is the first step that every athlete takes to get to the pros. You get an offer from a college, whether it's JUCO, D3, D1, D2. And if it's a lower level, you can use that to really build your tape and develop yourself as a player and get better. And maybe you can move on to a better school. Like you can go on to a D2 or a D1. And if you play really well and have a successful career over there, then the NFL scouts are going to notice you. So, yeah, it definitely crossed my mind a couple times. I was like, this is my chance. Like a small kid from the Big Island, we don't really get much attention because we're nothing like, California or Texas football teams that are just crazy filled with talent. We have to work so much harder to get noticed by these college coaches and staffs. And I felt like before I got here, I was so inspired and ready to just work. And then when I got here, I realized that yeah, there's no chance in hell, bro. Not that the NFL was kind of out, but just that like maybe my time playing, maybe it was just the program, but like just thought my time playing was over. Like I was like, maybe I should find a new hobby instead, because like I just didn't feel like I was built for the sport anymore, or I don't know. It just I guess once I got here, like that dream just changed, and I realized that you have to be a different breed of athlete to make it to the league, and that maybe I was better off just talking about the sport like I'm doing right now.
Well, and I think it's great that you understood that maybe not everything is for everybody. And I appreciate that you spoke about it positively. Oftentimes it's very easy to go negative on yourself. And you said like before that you didn't stand a chance, but I'm sure being in a different environment with people that don't give you the time is it's difficult. And I know for sure like anybody given the opportunity to go play college football, but then being neglected by the coaching staff will oftentimes get in their head and make them feel negatively upon themselves and negatively about their team. So for you to stick there through all your college career, I'm sure, there's times when you look back on the football team and say, dang it, I wish I gave more credit to myself and I wish I could still be playing. But at the same time, I'm proud of you for positively saying, like, I had my experience. I walked away understanding that it just wasn't the fit for me, right? And you walked away saying, there's other things I can do in my life and lift people up by doing it. And so I'm proud of you for thinking about it in that way. And as we wrap it up, you asked me this question, so I'm asking you, was there a pregame song that really got your blood pumping, that really kind of got you riled up and ready for any
Damn. Now I gotta think back to my athlete days. I think when I was playing football, I think I probably listened to Juice World or Polo G the most to put me in like a lock-in mode, Like most of the beats they have are very fast paced and like some of the lyrics from Polo G can be aggressive and like put you in that I'm gonna go rock somebody and take their head off type of mentality, Because a lot of his songs talk about being a black man in America and how tough that is. And while I can't really relate because I'm not an African American, just like hearing those powerful words, like it puts me in a state of mind where like I'm locked in, I'm ready to help my team like they're my family or like they're my community, So definitely I would probably say back then it was the song, oh my God, I forgot the name. But it was on Hall of Fame 2.0. That was the album that it was on. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I forget the name of the song, but it was one of the songs on Hall of Fame 2.0. Nowadays, like a lot of Twice songs help me lock in because they have a lot of a big positive energy, and that's just the kind of like vibe that I need right now. It's just like a lot of positive energy because first of all, being an adult sucks. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Like you got a lot of different responsibilities, and that can be very stressful. So like having an artist that like kind of helps take that stress away and like just puts you in a happy, positive mood instead of like hearing every cuss word in the English language in a song, like, it really shift your mentality to help you be a little bit more positive and a little less like, yeah, I'm gonna rock somebody today, boy, let's go. So yeah, yeah. It's on Hall of Fame 2.0. That's all I remember.
That's all that matters. We got the album. It's all good. Okay, well, I just wanted to finish this off by saying if you're going through anything mentally, that the hardest battle will always be reaching out to somebody. And reaching out to somebody never makes you weak, because that's the hardest part of it. And that's what makes you the strongest you can be, is finding the courage in yourself to express the way you think, express the way you feel. And if you think that you're weak because you're struggling with these things, then you can't find anybody to talk to. It's always there for you to reach out to whoever you feel most comfortable with, whether that be your parents, your friends, or somebody completely random. Just take the time to understand what you're going through and accept that you need somebody to talk to. I'm sure they'll be willing to help you out in any single way, no matter how hard it is, or no matter what you're going through. The strongest thing you can do is understand yourself and ask for that help. And we're not scientists, we're not doctors, we're not trying to tell you that this will work. We just know that from our own experiences that understanding what we're going through and having the people there to keep us in good spirits helped us a lot through our journey playing football, both here at the high school and collegiate. So if you're ever in any need, feel free to reach out to your friends, family. They will do their best to understand what you're going through and help you.
Yeah. You are not weak. Personally, I feel like the strongest people are the ones that can recognize when they're not okay and that they need someone to talk to help put them back on the right track. You are not alone. There are so many people that go through so many different things that nobody knows about. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about just taking care of your mental and keeping yourself on the right track. Like reaching out to those people that really care about you and want to see the best version of you possible and those people that'll always be there for you no matter what you're going through. I think just reaching out to them is when things aren't going right is huge and they can really help you out. So if you are ever going through anything at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to those people that you feel like can be your guiding light. And yeah, I think will find that it's worth it and it's definitely better than any other outcome that could happen.
I guess
Before
so.
we wrap up, I remember the name of the song. It's Unapologetic.
Okay,
There we go.
got you.
That's the
Good
one.
job. Good job. Anyway, everybody, Thank you for checking out our podcast. We'll see you in the next episode soon, and we'll get it out there. So appreciate everybody for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Yes, sir.
Cheers,
Everybody
everybody.
take care. See you guys in the next one. Peace.